Is this just gonna be Chadsplaining? Let's find out.
Brutal reality that no one wants to hear is that you need to stop caring about how you look.
Just how triggering are our phones?
It's a term you may have never heard before. Looksmaxxing.
So it looks like it's a community where you are going to maybe pick up some tips for living a healthier life, maybe modifying your appearance in some way. And instead, what many people are getting is, you know, if you can't hit these benchmarks, then you should really consider self-harm.
Personally, I hate it.
Okay, first of all, that's only a subset of the whole looksmaxxing space, right? There's a bunch of different individuals and there's a lot of trolling, and you have to be really, really low IQ to take all of those things to heart, right? But a lot of people have like very fragile senses of self, obviously, which makes them vulnerable. But nobody unironically thinks that, you know, if you're below a 6, it's completely over and you're done, right? That's not... that was never the point. Also, this is one of the guys that could 100% benefit from looksmaxxing. Like, oh my god, it was hard to look at him.
Yeah, so no one really actually says that.
Exactly.
Benchmarks. Then you should really...
Maybe someone on like .org or like some forum. Yeah, they're pretty toxic. Where on the internet is it not toxic? Go on any forum, it's pretty toxic. I mean, you could definitely take some tips from the community, bro. You could probably join my school and lose some weight, man.
Bro hit him with the buy my fucking course, you fucking sub 5. I love it.
You look pretty bad.
He's
you
not
have
wrong,
the glasses
though.
on, the horrible haircut, overweight. It's funny how...
The thing is, this guy also looks like this because he's had the identity of a sheep and the identity of a slave his entire life, which in turn made him extremely low testosterone, which in turn led to this kind of appearance. At this point, it's very hard to salvage. He spent way too many years with this concept of self that altered his appearance drastically, because no human in nature, even if you made him overweight, no human in nature is supposed to look like this. This is like an estrogen-filled pufferfish, you know? It's absolutely horrendous to look at. And dude, the hair is just criminal. Like, what even is this? He would unironically look better if he grew out his hair. Not by much, obviously, because the foundation is a pile of utter dog shit, but he definitely look better.
How someone like this could ever make an opposition to the looksmaxxing movement when you look like this. We know you have no results. If you were to get Tinder, you'd have no likes. So
true.
Who's really right at the end of the day? Just saying.
True.
Then you should really consider self-harm.
Personally, I hated how I looked growing up. I didn't like my nose.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I didn't like my...
Bro, that's like a top 0.5% face minimum in high school. This guy, all the girls were drooling over him. And also, he's 100% neurotypical. So it's not like he was having lunch in the library and being shoved into lockers or anything. This guy is also very neurotypical / NPC, which is somewhat of a good thing if you compare it to being like a complete social reject autist. But yeah, like, dude, come on. Come on. I hated the way you look. Like, that's the thing. These people don't realize that when they grow up looking like this, for them it's normal. For them, the treatment that they receive from other people in their entire life, that's the baseline, that's normal. Imagine being insecure looking like this. This is a straight up insult to anybody who looks worse than him, by the way, especially at such a young age, because not all of us grew up attractive. We actually had to work in order to improve our physical appearance. Well, this guy was just born with everything. He's gonna try to sound deep and teach you something in this video when he's literally an NPC that has been handed out essentially everything. What the fuck?
My nose.
Oh yeah, you look so bad, bro.
Personally, I hated how I looked growing up. I didn't like my...
Oh yeah. Damn, bro. You look so bad, bro.
Yeah, it's over,
Yeah.
bro.
Knows I didn't like my
Better
smile.
order it
I
up,
didn't have
bro.
my first kiss until I was 16, and I kind of blamed all of my failings
How is 16 a bad age to have your first kiss? Bro, there are people at 22, 23 who haven't even had that, let alone intercourse. Like, oh my god, this guy is so disconnected from reality.
You know, I tried every hairstyle in the book, believing that I would find the one that would finally help me get girls, and
Bro, what the fuck is that? You did not.
in the book,
You did not do this thinking that's gonna appeal to girls, right? You just fucked around because you have good genetics and you can afford to, and it doesn't even matter, but like, come on. Oh yeah, you experimented thinking that was gonna attract the ladies. Oh my god. Unreal.
believing that I would find the one that would finally help me get girls and stop
Yeah.
hating myself.
So I'm actually having a crisis over there because it is actually ginger, but I don't know whether I should like buzz it.
This guy is actually the supreme example of good genetics, because he has done so much abuse to his hair. I mean, dyeing your hair is literally a crime, right? And it doesn't matter. Still has a perfect hairline. Doesn't have to do anything to keep his hair. Although he has really bad acne genetics. That's the one thing I will say. But of course, he doesn't know how to actually fix it unless he were to use Accutane, because he's too brainwashed.
Or just do
Yeah, you kept doing a bunch of unnatural things. All you had to do is just let your hair grow and not touch it, not dye it, not even cut it.
Exactly.
You can maybe get a maintenance haircut, but
No. So see, I was about to be really happy because like FACEIQ basically acknowledged that you should never cut your hair, but then he talked about the idea of a maintenance haircut. No, that's fucking retarded. Every single guy on Earth across history looks better with long hair as long as possible, ideally down to your fucking knees, if you can do that, right? Like, imagine the ancient gods depicted with buzz cuts. That wouldn't make any sense, right? They're all depicted with long hair because it signifies power, virility, and more importantly, beauty and health, right? Like, come on. I've already made a bunch of videos proving that every guy looks better with long hair, but yeah, it's undeniable.
just let it grow. That's all you had to do. You have a good
Yeah.
face.
sides.
And at one
Also, you just had to eat healthy to clear your skin.
point, and it's truly scary
Exactly.
to admit because it actually happened in the last 3 years, but I genuinely searched up nose surgeons because I truly believed that if I had
Why?
nose surgery, that it would, for some reason, make me better looking and finally, you know, make me like myself.
Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. Oh, make me like myself. I'm so struggling. I just grew up in a completely normal household and everybody has showered me with love and attention, but it's never enough because hedonic adaptation is a thing and I can't actually appreciate what I have. So I'm going to complain about it on the internet, not understanding that everyone who is watching me, 99% of people who are watching me, are in worse positions. So I'm going to make them feel shit about themselves by making this video. Yeah, but he can't comprehend any of those things because he's an NPC.
He doesn't have a bad nose at all. That would be a pretty dumb surgery for him. The only reason he has any views is because of the way he looks.
Correct.
You see, social media needs you to think that if you are better looking, you will have an easier life, because the reality is you are being sold to.
If you're not paying
Wait, that doesn't make any sense because we all grew up thinking looks didn't matter. We didn't arrive at this conclusion because we wanted to. We all wanted to believe that we would be loved for who we are no matter what, and that we didn't need to change a thing about ourselves. It's through a lot of suffering and then research and observation that you arrive at the conclusions that look matter. And it's like, oh, you're being sold to. It's like, well, you're being sold to no matter what it is. If someone tells you to go train and to eat healthy and whatever, well, there are businesses around that, right? There are gyms, there are foods, there are supplements, there are all these different things. There are industries that are built around anything that can be commoditized as a service. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. The whole idea of the market is identifying problems and solving them. I don't really get his point here.
for the product, then you are the product.
Absolutely true. let's talk about my own channel, because this directly applies to me. I sell a product, a school, and I guess if people didn't think that looks mattered, people would be less inclined to buy it. But I don't really spend time trying to convince people that looks matter. You can make up your own mind. I think you'll find they do. I'm not going to lie to you. I think all the statistics, the halo effect, you know, every experiment proves looks do really matter. Fair enough, if you watch my videos, I'm actually pretty demonetized, but you would be the product by giving me ad money. But I don't really make much off that at all, because most of my videos are demonetized.
Really?
Which is kind of why I do sell a product. Also, I realized, hey, I have a lot of info on like facial aesthetics, diet, nutrition, looks maxing techniques, surgery. I was like, I have all these like pillars of like kind of life maxing. I should definitely make a product with it. But no, he's right. You are the product if you're not paying for something.
That's the thing. It's like if the transaction is voluntary, and if people know what they're getting, you know what you're getting with FACEIQ, right? Like, he's pretty straightforward about what he's gonna give you. So if people voluntarily pay for that and they get what they pay for, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Also, I didn't know that he was harshly demonetized. I didn't think his channel was that controversial.
Car, the bigger house, the nice watch, isn't the guy that goes home at the end of each day and is happy with who he is and what he's got.
Absolutely. The materialistic cope. Absolutely.
The guy that wakes up each morning and believes that by buying these things or having these things, he will fulfill or unlock whatever.
I mean, that's true, but also you need to be careful, because money is a tool. Ultimately, it can buy you freedom, right? It can afford you the ability to travel and not have to go into a disgusting, dead-end, stressful job surrounded by brainwashed NPCs, right? So it really depends what you do with the money. Material possessions in themselves, they're kind of whatever, right? Like, it's kind of like children buying toys, really. They can be fun. I don't really have something against that per se. Like, people can spend their money on whatever, try it out, have some fun with supercars or whatever. That's fine if they want to do that. But obviously, it doesn't matter nearly as much as the freedom that it gives you. And a lot of people, like investment bankers, for example, they earn a lot of money, but they burn themselves into the ground working 12-hour days for 6 days, 7 days a week sometimes. And that's just completely worthless. Like, obviously, it's not just about making the money, it's about how do you actually make the money. Because you're going to be spending a substantial time of your life doing that. And if whatever makes you the money completely destroys your health and you fucking hate it and whatever, then yeah, it doesn't really matter how much you have, does it? Money should serve you. You shouldn't serve money. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, I see what he means with the nose, but I don't think he needs to do anything. Obviously.
It's the camera.
And that's the loop.
You know, I think for so long I've been in this pursuit of something that isn't really real, and then when you finally find out that it's not real, and that everything that you do and stand for is, yeah, nothing.
And the really sad thing is,
Bro really tried to sound deep when his understanding of the world is one of an 8-year-old. Like,
you know, I meet on a regular basis some of the most awful, untalented, laziest people that you could possibly meet, that on the surface...
You talking about yourself? Just the way he says it with such confidence, as if that's not him at all. Zero shame, zero awareness. Just textbook NPC.
Surface live what appears to be the perfect life just because of how they look.
Does he not realize that's him though? Like, the reason you have a following is you would just make videos of your haircuts. If you looked ugly, no one would watch them. All the comments are girls simping for you.
That's what I'm saying.
You'd have... Just don't care, bro. Yeah, it would be easier for you not to care because you already have good looks.
You do not need a large, a small, any social media following to be an influencer. My parents are influencers, teachers,
who cares?
Friends. And at the height of their influence over me, not one
like,
of them
seriously.
has social media. To me...
What kind of cope is that? Where is he going with this?
What is, like, NPC retarded TED Talk? Like, what is this garbage?
There is much more a verb than a title. It is less, I am an influencer, and more, how do I use my influence?
Also, nice peasant haircut, by the way.
Follower count.
Bro, FACEIQ is hilarious sometimes. Like, I fucking love this term. I think it came from him. I never heard anybody else say that. Peasant haircut. Oh my god. I'm definitely stealing that. That's beautiful.
Denotes nothing but how far your reach can go, not how you use it.
But I'll also be the first.
Also, that's completely false, right? Like, the more people you're able to influence, the more of an influencer you are by definition, right? Like, you are very limited if the impact that you can have on people is only your family, your close friends, everything like that. Sure, you can have a good impact, and that has a purpose on its own. But if you're able to spread a positive message to help people, you know, become healthier, fix their psychological barriers, become better looking and stuff, well, ultimately you are a better influencer. You are having a better impact on the world, objectively speaking.
You need to spend less time on social media. You know, you need
That's true, I agree.
to come outside and see the real world, where these things tend not to matter so much.
Yeah, totally, bro. It matters so much in real life and dating apps. More on dating apps. Real life is still extremely important.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about? Should spend more time in real life. If you're spending time in real life with other people, then your looks automatically matter because they change the perception of everything it is that you do.
So when you wake up tomorrow, don't waste your time.
Okay, this is so cringe. Why are you in a bed in the middle of nowhere just to make your video a little bit quirkier to the NPCs? Like, oh, this is so cringe, man. Like, what are you doing?
Wondering if you can be better looking, because that will only lead you to loathe yourself and the people around you. Instead, ask yourself what assets you need to have to tame your inner hunger to improve. And, you know, I'll be honest, these are incredibly lackluster examples, but it could be learning.
I mean, you are a very lackluster person.
A new language, or going on a run every single day, or...
So, learning a new language, unless it serves you, unless you want to move to a specific country or whatever, is largely a waste of your time. If you're gonna put brain points towards any kind of progression in your life, it should yield asymmetrical results, right? Every second that is put into something should reward you more than the time you spent to do it. Also, running is the stupidest form of exercise by far.
Or
Learning a new set of symbols, what's that going to do for you? Running, just that's catabolic, just chronically raise your cortisol, decrease your testosterone. So you said waste your time learning a lot of new symbols or lower your testosterone. Let's see what else you have.
I don't know, like...
I don't know. Oh my god. Yeah, this is the example of a guy who never had to actually develop any extra brain cells, any extra connections in his brain to function whatsoever. Oh my god.
Doing stand-up comedy. It doesn't really
And being a jester.
matter, but the point is that you're learning something that isn't entirely focused around looking at yourself in the mirror.
It's funny because FACEIQ actually jester maxed by saying that. That was actually funny.
Every single day and hating yourself.
Yeah, it's definitely not good to do that. I agree.
Being truly passionate and dedicated to something in the long term, you will unlock things that you think good looks will unlock for you, but at a level that you can't even imagine. And also, you know, this...
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It means a lot coming from you, bro.
This is kind of my real message.
Because you're ugly and you have a great life, right? Oh no, you have a good life because you're good looking. But the message is coming from you. It's just garbage.
You have to start chasing the things that really matter, and not the things that other people tell you should matter.
What really matters?
Bro, this guy has watched like one Tony Robbins video and now he thinks he's the savior of a generation. You can just tell, if you've got good intuition, that he's just speaking words. He doesn't actually understand what he's saying. It's just a bunch of words that he's repeating because he's heard them from somewhere else, but he doesn't actually understand what he's saying because he's contradicting himself constantly. And you can just tell by the way he speaks, there is no emotionally charged thought behind what he is saying. It's just a bunch of words that he's stringing together without any actual deep understanding of psychology or anything about life, as a matter of fact.
Matters truly is going to be your relationships, and that will be shaped by your looks, and all the data supports this. Because in my opinion, I think, of course, naturally the meaning of life is to reproduce and ideally have a family. So
I mean, naturally, if you look at it from the animalistic perspective, yeah, but not everybody's purpose is necessarily to reproduce. If you look at great inventors like Nikola Tesla, if you look at many philosophers, if you look at many great men across history that you can look up to, a lot of them didn't actually have children, and I respect them a lot more than the random fat pile of trash from next door who got settled for by an even fatter woman and pumped out 2 or 3 kids, right? And I'm not against the idea of like having children and reproducing by any means, but it's not necessarily the meaning of life that really makes someone great, because most people can do that, especially nowadays, because you don't have the threat of war, you don't actually have the threat of being killed and having to overcome thousands of men with swords to get to the woman. And you know what I'm saying is true, because we both know that even the cucks who are unattractive and who don't have the right mind frames and whatever, they eventually get settled for by the woman after they're done actually having their fun, right, with the guys they're actually attracted to. And those guys, they manage to reproduce, even though they are literally the opposite of what a man should be, whereas you've got great men who didn't actually reproduce. I don't think the idea of having kids is the number one thing that like makes you a man.
What appears, it's a huge part of life. Also having friends, like being around people. People are what makes life. Take away every person on earth. You could have a Lambo, you could have a big mansion, you're the only person.
That's what I meant earlier. The most important domains of life will always involve people.
Person on earth, what's the fucking meaning of it? It's empty, it's completely devoid.
True.
It's science. Isolate for certain variables. Isolate for one variable, look at the result. We isolate for one variable, we remove all other people, everything's meaningless. You remove all Ferraris, life still has meaning. You remove all anything else, you remove all trees, life still has meaning. You know, you could be nihilist and say, yeah, life has no meaning, whatever. It feels like it has no meaning if you don't have people. So,
well, life has no meaning if you think it has no meaning. At the end of the day, all of these concepts are subjective. Whatever you think about life will be what is manifested in your reality, right? But yeah, the idea of isolating variables to get to the bottom of it is a good way to get closer to truth.
Hence, I think having a relationship, having kids and a wife is super, super, super important. And the way to get there is going to mostly be looks.
Because otherwise...
Mostly looks? Looks give you leverage, but it's not mostly looks, because a lot of the couples you see around, because most people are unattractive, and FACEIQ would definitely agree with this. I mean, in America, most people are obese to begin with, and many of them managed to reproduce. It wasn't through looks, it was through selling their dignity in order to appeal to a true woman so that she can pick him as her beta provider, right? There's many strategies to get to sexual access. Some people do it through money. That is a very real thing. Some people do it through stability. Some people can leverage their looks. Some people manage to have like S-tier hypnotic level behavior like Charles Manson, which despite his looks literally created an entire sex cult of devoted women. There are many stats you can maximize depending on what kinds of outcome that you're seeking with women and your genetic base, of course. So I wouldn't say looks are like the majority of what gets someone to reproduce, because the majority of people reproducing are ugly.
And also, and most importantly, and it's something that we don't really say enough, but love yourself.
Okay,
you know, because no one else is going to do it for you.
Nah, he didn't actually say that. Basically, what this guy is telling the audience that, hey, love yourself because nobody else will love you because you're not actually worthy of the love of other people. So he's actually insinuating, because he's talking down to the audience, he knows that he is more attractive than his audience. That's what the whole video comes across, is that, hey, I'm attractive, you're unattractive, right? If you actually read between the lines. And what he's saying essentially is, hey, you are unlovable, so love yourself, delude yourself, because nobody else will love you. Oh my god. Not even the NPCs watching this video will actually understand that. And this comes from the guy who has received plenty of love ever since he was a kid and never had to actually try to improve on both his appearance as well as his behavior, because the guy just acts like a neurotypical NPC. That's enough to get by, especially if you have good looks.
Also, okay, it seems like such a fake message. I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah, it's really cringe.
You can't just be confident. Just love yourself. You can't spawn these things out of thin air. You can't just...
Actually, you can. It's just very, very difficult. But in order to get your first feedback, you kind of need to delude yourself at the beginning. I could give many examples, you know, Conor McGregor believed that he was UFC champion before he was UFC champion, right? This phenomenon is observed across athletes, across scientists, across all sorts of successful people. You actually have to embody the thing that you want to become while becoming it, right? Because that's actually what leads to the best result. Because otherwise, if you only rely on external feedback, you're gonna get discouraged and you're not gonna keep pushing forward if you focus on what reality shows you as opposed to what reality you want to will into existence. So the feedback loop has to start somewhere, and it starts with you. It starts with an idea of something better that you could be. And you need that energy and confidence before things actually get better. Otherwise, things are never going to get better. That's the whole problem. It has to start somewhere.
Oh, I'm going to be confident. I'm going to love myself. It arises naturally from the way you're treated, the life you've lived.
Yeah, but how do you get to that good treatment to begin with, right? Like, you need to believe that you are worthy of these things in order to go for these things.
You can't just do that. Just love yourself, bro.
But I do agree with him. In most cases, when people say just love yourself, they don't do it in the correct way. They don't actually understand how to think. So yeah, in the NPC sense of, oh, just love yourself, yeah, it's complete bullshit. It actually impairs growth more than anything else. It's kind of like fat people saying, oh yeah, just love yourself, just you're so beautiful at 400 pounds. Like, that's how normies see it, but love yourself actually has a deeper meaning if you actually know how to think.
I like that I'm helping people get healthier, which I think is a very good thing, though, I will say.
Yeah, I feel that.
It is a good feeling. Like, when you see the results of people like, dude, you fixed my depression, you fixed my skin,
yeah.
I lost 20 pounds of fat in a few months. What's better than seeing that?
Yeah, I feel that. I get a lot of messages from the people that I've been able to help, and bro, it just makes me really happy to see them make the amount of progress that they're making in terms of reversing hair loss, in terms of just becoming healthier, becoming better looking, and everything like that. And it surprises me too, because they're actually making faster progress than I did originally, because when I was figuring out all of this stuff by myself, I had to make many mistakes. I had to kind of shoot in the dark and develop this thing. But seeing these people just take all of that information and apply it optimally from the get-go, I'm actually shocked at the results that people are getting. And yeah, it just makes me really happy to be able to save people from going the dangerous pharmaceutical route, which has a chance of ruining their lives completely. So yeah, helping people, getting the feedback and getting the encouragement to keep going it's honestly priceless.
I really don't want to try to convince you. Come to your own conclusion. But I think people will find, maybe you'll miss it if you're a top 1% guy, many of you guys will find, if you don't already know, looks is extremely important. And not everyone has the freedom of not caring about it.
Damn, that was a good way to end the video, actually, just cutting right at the end like that. But yeah, I mean, obviously that James Edward guy is a complete brainwashed NPC who has never actually produced an original thought in his life. And I mostly agree with FACEIQ. There's a few little things that we either disagree on or see things differently. But yeah, that was actually a good video. This is what I can't stand NPCs. Like, anytime they open their mouth and they just verbally defecate all of the platitudes and all of the basic programs that have been put into their brain, I just don't have patience for that stuff anymore, especially in real life, right? It's so predictable, it's so mundane, it's so easily debunkable. Like, people will say all sorts of things, then contradict themselves, and they'll just try to pull you in all sorts of different directions. But the only thing you should be doing is to keep ascending.